DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, this is DFA Online. Philippine Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo J. Cakdak met with Jordan's Minister of Labor, His Excellency Khalid Mahmoud Al-Bakar, to strengthen labor cooperation in upholding the protection of the rights and welfare of overseas Filipino workers or OFWs in Jordan during a ministerial meeting in Amman. Secretary Cakdak emphasized the recent adoption of the Enhanced Reform Program for Filipino domestic workers, which reinforces DMW's commitment to decent work, ethical recruitment, and strengthened welfare mechanisms for domestic workers deployed abroad. Among the key reforms raised during the meeting include the increase in the minimum wage from $400 to at least $500, introduction of mandatory Know Your Employer protocols, digital welfare monitoring system, annual medical checkups, stricter standards for ethical recruitment, and stronger support services. Minister Al-Bakar welcomed the reforms and expressed Jordan's commitment to work with the Philippines in upholding the dignity and rights of Filipino domestic workers. The Secretary was accompanied by Philippine Ambassador to Jordan, His Excellency Wilfredo C. Santos, and DMW Secretary Hainal T. Rasul Jr. of the Policy and International Cooperation Cluster during the meeting aimed at strengthening the protection of OFWs in Jordan.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
In other news stories, the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA advised Filipinos in Jakarta to remain indoors and avoid large crowds as violent protests continue across Indonesia. It is noted that the Philippine Embassy in Jakarta said the city remains relatively safe but assured it is closely monitoring developments and will issue further guidance as needed. It could be recalled that nationwide protests erupted last Monday over low wages and alleged lavish allowances of lawmakers. Tensions then escalated after a video circulated showing a motorcycle delivery rider or driver being run over by a police vehicle. Last Friday, at least 3 people were killed while 5 were injured in a fire blamed on protesters at a parliament building in eastern Indonesia. The DFA said any Filipino affected by the protests may reach the Philippine Embassy's assistance to nationals number via WA +628 118 877 or rather WA +628 118 877 334.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And finally, Filipinos seeking overseas employment are reminded not to be or not to accept suspicious jobs or job offers in Myanmar as a deployment ban is currently in place in the Southeast Asian state. The Philippine Embassy in Yangon made the reiteration after reporting a rise in the number of Filipinos entering the country supposedly to work as customer service representatives. The embassy did not provide a specific number, but several dozens have in the past sought rescue after falling victim to illegal recruitment and human trafficking in Myanmar. The victims were recruited through WhatsApp, Facebook, and Telegram as customer sales representatives, only to be exploited to work as online scammers. The embassy said its desks are open for questions and inquiries and may be reached at +95 998 521 0991.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And that concludes today's edition of DFA Online for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. DFA